Tremor. Is it the worst status effect, or does it just get a very bad rap due to its complicated nature? Recently, friend of the channel, Miss Daisy Frog, was explaining how the whole system works, and I swear that is not them over my shoulder, and that sniper's perch telling me what to say for this video either. Before we start, I want to point out that 𝐜𝐿, Spice Bush 𝐸 and Sunshower Heathcliff are not being brought up here due to them not having Tremor in a prominent form. Also, for those of you that are ring aficionados, they deserve their own video for full context to be made, and if this video does well enough, we'll go ahead and jump into that one next. But now, with full transparency, I am no expert in this field, so Frog will be stepping in from time to time to explain how these things work. And without further ado, let's get into this. Now, what is Tremor? Tremor is a status effect which does nothing by itself. No, seriously, it just stacks up to 99 potency and 99 count. Whenever a unit with the Tremor status effect attacks, that's all it does, until it's converted into raw damage through Tremor bursts. Depending on what flavor of Tremor you find the tastiest, this can range from messing with foes' clash power to straight up just adding different types of damage when that nasty yellow 𝐳 is burst. And first up, we have the Suboptimal Sallies. These units aren't ever going to be considered for a team unless you're drunk enough or you're just that desperate. And first up, we have 𝐿CCB Ryoshu. And wait. This isn't a Tremor unit technically, but
she does shit out count and potency. Rarely. Only on skill 3, but it is relevant if she crits.
Okay, so well, I guess there's not much more to say on this unit. Good if poised Tremor becomes a thing somehow, and while Ryoshu doesn't bring any relevant ego, our next unit does not have that problem. In Rosebanner, god damn it, dude, I am fucking up. In Rosebanner Mersal, this Mersal is interesting in that he has nothing going for him, like nothing at all. Mersal is just okay for this team because of his egos like Regret, Capote, and Crushbound Past. Well, he isn't the worst unit. The same cannot be said for Lobotomy Ego Sloshing Ishmael, the one that you guys all talk the most crap about. A contender for the worst unit in the game, and it shows. Genuinely, nothing good to say on this unit. She does everything bad. Clashing, count, sex appeal. And now, while this unit is bad, she does have competition for being the worst from none other than 𝐸 South Section 6 Sinclair. He brings blunt fragility. Besides that, no, this unit is not viable as Sinclair has a multitude of better options for everything: count infliction, defense, capabilities, and communication in the Mafia. And we go from Mafia back to Rosebanner with Rosebanner Gregor. No, he can with the extremely loud incorrect buzzer. Okay. He can be somewhat usable with his egos if you really want to make it work. Well, I feel like I haven't brought our expert on enough, and for some reason, they were really excited about the twink, so I'll let her explain now with
Muller Boatworks Sinclair. He is one of the worst clashes in the game, clashing on a 6 on his skill 1. He's really good in count infliction when meeting his conditionals. Skill 1 on this unit, when he has 10 Tremor count, applies 4 Tremor count to the target, which is amazing, but skill 3 transfers his Tremor count on self to the enemy, which means he has to reset his bad clashes with his skill 1. He doesn't contribute to sloth resonance and has no ego to fix it. Really fun to use this unit even if he struggles really hard.
Well, you know who doesn't get most of you hard? 𝐿CA And, well, they're a sinking ID, which has Tremor, and while she would normally be fine for any other center as an option, you know, for Otis, she has 2 much better options that help this team core way better. Now we're out of the suboptimal Sallies, we're moving on to the non-optimal Nancys. Frog, really? Anyway, these units will be very usable in Tremor teams, even if they are outclassed. Compared to what we just got through, these units look godlike. And our first one up is everyone's favorite My Chemical Romance lead singer, 𝐜𝐨𝐽𝐬. Doesn't look so My Chemical Romance with this one. He is the definition of adequate. Good, not overly. Good, bad, not overly. Struggles to do anything particularly noteworthy, yet he is good if you lack options. A mono faith build in Elden Ring, rare to see and meh on execution. Incorp Dawn.
I was in the 3rd grade. People treated me like a criminal because I killed somebody.
Is our next up, and they're a high investment, high reward unit. Her Tremor count rivals the top units today. If the enemy has nails and she wins a clash, and if the enemy left their oven on, you know someone who'll never leave their oven on, Incorp Ryoshu. This unit is carried by another unit on the list, and without him, she exists. Not much else to say here besides maybe she's a fraud. But again, guys, I'm taking too much of the spotlight, so we're passing the torch off again to Miss Dainty here with
𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐻𝐿𝐴. Asymmetrical inertia is a great ego, but is it great on 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐻𝐿𝐴?
Well, technically, nah.
I mean, it is a shame this 𝐓𝐻𝐿𝐴 does not use it the best. He brings Envy, which is relevant, and his Tremor count positive. If he had self-Tremor, this unit would be amazing because of Tremor clock winding, speeding his max speed up. But otherwise, he's kind of just there.
So we're gonna need you guys to slow way down from 𝐓𝐻𝐿𝐴 here, and go ahead and slam that like button and pound the freaking subscribe button for me real quick before we get into Sway West Section 3 Sinclair. And this is 𝐓𝐴𝐽𝐬's baby brother, and he has almost none of what makes her good. He lacks that defensive stance, which hurts since he really wants to get out of the way for the better egos. Most conditionals have to do with a defense level and not Tremor, which is painful. And if you don't have other options, this unit is still nice since he does go count positive on his skill 1. Going from that count positive to one of the guys I use the most on my team, and not because they're Tremor, just because they're awesome. The Heishu Wu branch, horsey boy himself, 𝐸 bursts a crazy amount, is fast, which is bad because he doesn't have an ego that really wants to go early into the turn, and he's a bit count negative. However, this is a useful tool that'll help us later. With that tool now out of your mind and over in the side for a second, we move on to 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐻. 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐻.
There we go.
Thank you. So we hide the mystery Musketeer for later, and we move into 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐻 Dawn. This is the wall. While 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐻 Dawn clashes poorly, she does bring some of the highest defense out of a Tremor unit, allowing her to take some quite frankly insane amounts of focus fire. And we'll just call her the wall, since while she is a huge tank, she really doesn't attack all that well outside of her tankiness. It'd be funny if she could fall on somebody, but that's not gonna happen, is it? Going from somebody who tanks like a mother to 𝐷𝐴𝐿𝐴 Ryoshu, a support passive bot, turbocharges conditionals, decent on the field, but not required due to lacking egos. Again, Ryoshu seems to be very weak with their egos in the Tremor field, so if your options are poor, this Ryoshu will treat you well. Now we're moving back into Frog's expertise. On the board, we've got
the correct way to say it, 𝐸𝐴𝐳𝐿. 𝐸𝐴𝐳𝐿 brings Cavernous Wailing and Reverb on his kit as well. He's amazing, but middle of the pack for speed and brings 0 Tremor count to speak of. Faces competition from a non-Tremor unit, but that is a conversation for later.
Guys, we promised you in this video that we were going to show you why Tremor isn't the worst one, and finally, after all of these previous ones, we have reached the good ones. Okay, these units are what makes or breaks a good Tremor team, and are really good for what they do. They also make the funniest noises, which is a big plus. We've got Regret Faust. Her skill 1 is a +3 on count. She inflicts plus coin drop, and she is slow for a Faust, so struggles to use the Everlasting effectively. We go from someone who struggles over to Thumb Capo Marisol. a genuinely amazing unit who changed Tremor teams completely when released. With access to Marisol's great ego list, this unit never fails to amaze us. We go from Thumbsart Marisol to LCCB Ishmael, and the Christmas Nightmare Ishmael is insane for Tremor teams. Only count and potency is on skill 2 and requires ammo, which are both downsides, but she loses power in longer fights, but even now she is amazing just for the infliction of her skill 2. Sticking with Ishmael, we go to Big Shield Mama Ishmael with 𝐳. Oh wait, is this the Big Shield Mama one?
Yes.
Okay, and she is a staple for Tremor teams, combining Christmas Nightmare and tankiness of T-Corp Dawn. Brings envy to Tremor teams with no sloth contribution outside of ego, and she is middle of the pack for speed, but that defensive stance allows her to always clash while going last in turn order, which is huge for allowing important Tremor egos to go first. For some strange reason that I don't know, our expert might, we're sticking with Ishmael again with Jong Office Rep Ishmael. She is a discard ID, which allows her to frequently use her better skills and allows her to use her depth of skill affinities at her disposal. Tidal Elegy or Christmas Nightmare are both good options for her. 𝐳 is usually the better option due to its consistency and speed control, but this ID is still viable and super fun at top levels.
On from the onslaught of triple lot IDs to a double lot ID in T-Corp Rodian. Raja has two great egos for a Tremor team, both being Pursuance and Effervescent Corrosion. Pursuance is very important since it is one of Tremor's go-to healing egos, and Effervescent Corrosion allows easy on-the-fly count infliction. T-Corp Rodian specifically brings Wrath and Envy affinities while being Tremor count positive and bringing the usually shenanigans time moratorium offers. She is worth the team slot, but competes with our next ID being Rosespanner Rodian. Same egos as T-Corp while still having some, but less Envy application, with her only Sloth coming as part of her defense skill. Still, this unit's skill 2 murders people with bursts when having enough charge and spending even more to increase its effectiveness, and to give herself blunt damage and haste. Both her and T-Corp Rodian deserve a spot on a Trevor team for different reasons and are able to be supplemented based on preference.
Speaking of things being blunt, you know, what I'd say is probably the most blunt finger on the entire hand. Well, that'd be the thumb. And speaking of thumbs, we got Thumb Sinclair, the cream of the crop when it comes to Tremor Sinclairs. He clashes incredibly with clashing coin power conditionals. Helps Thumb Capo Marisol to become even better by helping him inflict burn and reload him when he runs out of ammo, using his somewhat but not overly hard to obtain combat passive. Tremor has another really good unit who would love a refuel on ammo, being LCC Ishmael. So if you don't have 𝐳, consider running these two together. Moving on from Thumb Sinclair to Molar Otis, the great battle of the Tremor Otises will be spoken on for generations to come. Molar Otis, for her part, brings the best Tremor combat passive in the game. At the time of writing, allowing free sloth damage every time you Tremor burst. Her being a discard ID allows you to use her better skills more often, and both Otises bring nothing ego-wise to the team comp, yet they remain staples for their damage and versatility. Note, if you are a new player looking for a use for your 3-star ticket after logging in for the 14 days, Molar Otis is one of the best generalist options, while still being incredible in Modern Limbus, with her main competition being Molar Ishmael, who is respectively insane for sinking teams. Speaking of Otis, we're moving to her T-Corp one, a different side of the coin from Molar Otis. She is count positive most of the time. She is a high damage unit, but her way worse combat passives equal out to both Otises doing around the same ballpark of damage. This unit likes another T-Corp unit on the team, but doesn't need it. Her conversion being on both her skill 2 and 3 is really helpful. Since Tremor Chain isn't great, it does allow new guaranteed clashes. Alright Frog, do your thing.
Nidal's Gregor. Final Walpurgis unit on the list, thankfully. This unit is everything Gregor needed for a Tremor team and is incredibly viable. will likely be a staple for Tremor going forward. While he didn't introduce Bleed Tremor as an idea, he is what made it viable, being able to maintain due to deep wounds, allowing easy bleed count affliction even when he's the only bleed unit on the field. Gregor brings insane ego, and while he is count negative for what you get, he is incredibly worth running.
Alright guys, we've ran through all of the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to all of this, so let's talk about our team build. Our basic Tremor team core would consist of a Thumb, Capo, Marisol, Night Owls, Gregor, Regret Faust, 𝐜𝐨𝐬𝐿, your choice of 𝐬 or Jong Office Ishmael, your choice of T-Corp or Roast Banner Raja, and your choice between Molar or T-Corp Otis, and potentially Thumb Sinclair if you're lacking one of these units or wish to maximize the capacity of Thumb, Capo, Marisol. Let's put this in terms that I know, according to Frog, this is grade A prime cut steak here. Everything from the fun, happy feelings your brain gets with all the funny noises that the team makes during their turn. You use all of those Tremor bursts, from the big hit of Reverb to the chain and the everlasting big AoE and the 5-coin skill of Thumb Marisol. The noises of this team are immaculate.
This team also specializes in durability. Most of its best members of the team have a defensive option that allows for more mistakes to be made, from 𝐸𝐻𝐼𝐿's defense level, T-Corp Rodian and Otis's damage stall, to Thumb Marisol being able to unstagger himself, as well as access to great healing ego. The idea for now, on from that team, we have a free-to-play Tremor team comp for anyone sort of newer to the game. If you're just looking at this video, looking for a, easy-to-understand Tremor team core that you can achieve in a few days or so. This team comp is mostly 2-star IDs with some recommended or easily obtainable IDs. This team comp consists of LCCB Ishmael, T-Corp Rodian, N-Corp Dawn, Molar Otis, Molar 𝐸𝐸𝐬 Zwei West Section 3 Sinclair, and your choice of either 𝐸𝐸𝐬𝐿 or N-Corp Ryoshu. Note, I do recommend R-Corp Merso if you are running N-Corp Ryoshu because he allows the team to upkeep bleed count really well. This team specializes in bleed and Tremor combination, allowing for big lust damage on every burst with Tremor Hemorrhage.
And we really don't have to tell you why that second team is really good. It's the free-to-play team. You don't have to pay for it, guys.
Now let's look at a normal turn for some of these team comps. We start off with Cavernous Wailing Honglu for Tremor Reverb start, then we combine it with Faust's Everlasting to create the optimal start with the 2 Rupture IDs I'm bringing. Why are the 2 Rupture IDs here?
Now remember that surprise tool of 𝐸𝐻𝐻𝐸 Wu Branch Yi-Sang. He allows access to a Rupture Tremor team core using Malfaust and Lord Honglu as staples. It allows Lord Honglu to burst every single skill he has. This team comp requires Cavernous Wailing and Everlasting to be effective, but is viable if you possess these tools. Malfaust, she is the fastest Faust of all time, of writing the script that is, and which allows for optimal use of Everlasting and is another 𝐸𝐻𝐻𝐸 for Lord Honglu. She has skill 1 Sloth, which contributes to Sloth Resonance. However, she contributes nothing to Tremor. Lord Honglu, obviously this unit has insane damage conditionals, while also being fast, which allows him to optimally use Cavernous Wailing. Likes 5 𝐸𝐻𝐻𝐸 units, which limits unit variety and versatility in a Tremor team, but contributes nothing to potency or count, and yet stands out here on his own, allowing this archetype to exist. A cursed Tremor team core consists of Lord Honglu, Malfaust, Y Branch Yi-Sang, ideally T-Corp Otis, since her being count positive is really important with lacking Tremor help from Honglu and Faust. The rest are mostly the same with caveats that you ideally want 3 off-field 𝐸𝐻𝐻𝐸 units, and that Rose Banner Gregor is a free-to-play option in this team since you are bringing 2 of his status effects and bring an incredibly helpful ego. But again, if you have Night Owl Gregor, run Night Owl's Gregor. That is our overview of Tremor, and now if you disagree with what we have said, or you would like me to talk about your favorite status effects, comment below. Guys, I enjoyed making this one. If any of you guys actually want to come to me with your status effects and tell me how they run a little bit better, it not only helps me, but it helps the community. This has been an interesting video to make. I kind of kidnapped Frog here and forced her to also speak often in this one, despite their, protests against it. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it does well, we will do another how to build kind of guide video. Well, guys, with that being said, remember, be good to each other. We'll see you in the next video. Peace. This Mersault is in Roseman. God damn it, dude, I am fucking up. Lobotomy, ego, swashing email. What the fuck? Extremely loud, incorrect buzzer. Okay.
It's a link. It's a link for Mons to use.
No.